Today we're with Glenn Ketchcormier, member of the Kisatchie Fly Fishers and one of the coordinators of their online fly tying sessions, which they call Virtual Tying Tuesday. How did Virtual Tying Tuesday come about?
Just prior to the pandemic, our club was having about 30 to 35 members attending our monthly fly tying sessions. We were in quite a roll, and then the pandemic hit and we were separated from each other for about 2 months. President of the club and members of the fly tying committee decided maybe we could take this online and do it virtually. And it's been a huge success. We've had it every other Tuesday, and we're averaging about 20 to 25 members, people on the online version.
You all went with the Zoom product. What made you decide to go with Zoom as opposed to Facebook Live, WebEx, or Google Meets?
The quality of the product, when you're tying flies, you don't want to have skips or stops or things like that. And Zoom, for the money, was the best quality product. It also had a huge forum support, which was important for users to get accustomed to the product and be able to use it readily.
Okay. What's involved in doing a virtual fly tying meeting?
Well, it's actually preparation, setup, and equipment. I'll talk about preparation first. We do something different than other clubs are doing with their virtual tying. We're actually mailing out samples of materials in advance. What we did is, on our website, we have a form that you can fill out, and you tell us what the flies we're going to be tying within the month. You check those off, and then it goes to our database. And if you aren't on that database, we ask you to fill out your address. And so then we have mailing labels with names and addresses. Okay. Prior to that, we have security envelopes. The security envelopes are fairly thick, and we put the return mailing addresses on those. Thursday, before the mail goes out, Thursday afternoon 4:30, we then take everybody who's entered their name for tying that coming Tuesday, and we put their label on there, and then we put in there a sample of materials. For example, when we gather materials for fly tying, we put them in a Ziploc bag with all the materials that we have, and then what we'll do is, days before, we'll start parsing out into bags like this, these little zipper sandwich bags that you can get for $1, 40 for $1. And then we put the materials in there, tie 2 flies, sometimes even 3 flies. We put those in, slip those in the envelope, and we bring them to the post office and get postage on them. And the whole thing takes about an hour to do 30 of these, and then bring them to the post office and we mail them off. It's a fairly cheap way of getting all of our members' materials to tie.
So I guess that's the preparation piece.
Yes.
Tell us about the setup.
Okay, for the setup, whoever's tying, we ask them to, first of all, to be in a room with lots of ambient light, or even outside works. Ambient light is important because of something called dynamic range. Smartphones, even a lot of cameras, don't have the dynamic range that your eyes do. And so if you're sitting at your fly tying desk with a bright lamp and a dark background, everything gets blown up, you can't see the fly in real detail, and you lose a lot of color. So ambient light is really important. So I'll move for example, my time for this virtual sessions into the dining room, which dining rooms always have lots of ambient light. And I'll bring my thing of equipment right there that I have. And then, as a tyer, or one leading a session, I'm going to have all my materials laid out so I can show folks exactly what it is we're using. I have one sample. I have a bag like this with the materials all ready to go. And so all I have to do is step through the process. The first thing I do is I step through the fly. I tie the fly without hesitation. Nobody else ties during that time. So they get to see all the parts and how they're put together. Then the next step is we all tie together. And at that point, we answer any questions that they have. They can ask questions through the chat on a Zoom session.
So we have preparation, setup. What about the equipment?
Well, a smartphone will work for the Zoom session, obviously, but it doesn't have, you want to get a real close-up of the fly. As you can see, some of these flies are pretty small, and so what works is getting a macro adapter. You can get these on Amazon, and you just slip that over the lens of your smartphone like that, and it magnifies the image. So therefore, you can see the real close-up of the fly. It also helps to blur the background. You may notice I'm wearing a gray shirt right here, and that's so I don't have any background colors, any symbols or anything else that might distort the image of the fly. And so that works right there.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing with us. And,
Equipment.
oh, more equipment?
Yes, more equipment. I'm sorry, more equipment. Okay, that's an easy setup. That only costs, one of these little doodads is $15 on Amazon, works on any smartphone. By the way, I didn't mention that I'm using a little tripod selfie right here, and that's about $10, $15 on Amazon to hold my camera, and it really works well. But if I wanted to do a more professional setup, which I sometimes do, I use my 35 millimeter camera on a tripod stand, connected to a video adapter right here, and it goes into my tablet, which is live with the Zoom session. And for sound, I use a little lavalier mic. Now that adapter is $30 on Amazon. This lavalier mic was $15 or $17 like that. And the quality is amazing. And that's because, of course, a full-featured camera like this is always going to have much better video than your smartphone. So this is my pro setup for doing fly tying sessions on Zoom. And again, it's not expensive. You just need to have some technical knowledge to know what you're doing.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for the equipment. Thank you for sharing with us about your experience, and I hope it helps other people.
I certainly do too. Thank you.